Hello, ladies and gentlemen. When life gets tough, the first battle is never out there in the world. It's right here inside your own mind. The moment pressure hits, your brain starts scanning for what's wrong, what's missing, what could fall apart next. That reaction is automatic, but staying there is a choice. And the quality of your life, especially in hard moments, is determined by what you choose to focus on. Because whatever you consistently focus on doesn't just fill your thoughts, it fuels your emotions, your energy, and your actions. Think about this for a moment. Two people can go through the exact same situation. One feels crushed, powerless, and bitter. The other feels challenged, alert, and determined. The situation didn't decide that. Their focus did. When you lock your attention onto loss, fear, or uncertainty, your nervous system responds as if you're under constant threat. Your body tightens, your breathing shortens, your vision narrows. But the instant you redirect your focus, even slightly, you shift your entire internal state. This is why positivity is not pretending everything is fine. It's training yourself to ask better questions. When something goes wrong, most people ask, why does this always happen to me? And that question has only one destination: frustration. But the moment you ask, what can I control right now? Or what is this moment demanding from me? Your brain starts searching for solutions instead of reasons to quit. The quality of your questions shapes the quality of your life. You don't deny reality, you direct it. You acknowledge the challenge, but you refuse to give it all your attention, because attention is power. Where attention goes, energy flows. And where energy flows, results grow. If you give your energy to fear, fear expands. If you give your energy to progress, progress begins, even if it's slow at first. Here's something most people never learn: focus is a muscle. And like any muscle, it gets stronger with use. When life is easy, it doesn't matter much where your attention goes. But when life gets hard, focus becomes your lifeline. This is when you deliberately shift your attention to what's still working in your life, what resources you still have, what strengths you've already developed. Not because everything is perfect, but because despair solves nothing. You start winning the moment you take ownership of your focus. That might mean turning off the noise, stepping away from constant negativity, or limiting how much time you spend replaying worst-case scenarios in your head. It might mean starting your day by deciding what matters most instead of letting chaos decide for you. Small acts of focus create massive emotional stability. And here's the truth that changes everything: you don't need certainty about the future to stay positive. You only need clarity about your next step. When you focus on the step in front of you instead of the entire mountain, your mind calms down. Momentum replaces overwhelm. Confidence begins to return. This is how strong people are built. Not because they never feel fear or doubt, but because they refuse to let those emotions dominate their focus. They train their mind to search for opportunity, growth, and meaning even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. So remember this: your life is shaped not by what happens to you, but by what you choose to focus on when it does. When life gets heavy, most people try to think their way out of the pain. They tell themselves to stay positive, to calm down, to be strong. But the truth is, you can't outthink a body that's overwhelmed. Your body is not following your thoughts are following your body. And if you don't understand that, you'll keep fighting an invisible battle you were never meant to win with willpower alone. Every emotion you experience has a physical pattern. Fear tightens your chest. Stress shortens your breath. Defeat slumps your posture and drains your energy. But confidence, strength, and positivity also have physical patterns. When your body is strong, open, and energized, your mind naturally follows. That's why in the toughest moments of your life, the fastest way to change how you feel is not to analyze the problem, it's to change your state. Think about the last time you felt truly powerful. Your shoulders were probably back. Your breathing was deep. Your voice was clear and certain. That wasn't an accident. That was physiology shaping psychology. And the moment life starts pressing in on you, you have the ability right now to reclaim that state by taking control of your body. Stand up differently, breathe with intention, move with purpose. Even something as simple as inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling slowly can interrupt stress and reset your nervous system. Your body doesn't need a long explanation, it responds to action. When you move with strength, your brain receives the message that you are not helpless, and that message alone can shift despair into determination. This is why movement is so powerful. When you're stuck emotionally, you're usually stuck physically too. Sitting still, hunched over, staring at the same problem only feeds the loop. But when you move, walk, stretch, shake your body, even change rooms, you disrupt that pattern. Energy starts flowing again. And when energy flows, options appear. Your tone matters too. The way you speak to yourself, the volume of your voice, the certainty behind your words, these are not small details. They are commands to your nervous system. If you speak in a weak, defeated tone, your body listens. But when you speak with strength, even before you fully feel it, your body begins to rise to meet that command. Strong people don't wait until they feel good to act. They act in ways that create good feelings. They understand that positivity is not a mood, it's a state you generate. And that state is built through habits, daily movement, conscious breathing, intentional posture, and purposeful action. These are not motivational tricks. They are biological truths. When life gets tough, your job is not to eliminate stress. Your job is to build a body and nervous system strong enough to handle it. Because once your body is aligned, your mind stops exaggerating the threat, fear loses its grip, clarity returns, and suddenly what felt impossible starts to feel manageable. This is how you stay positive in chaos, not by ignoring reality, but by becoming stronger than it from the inside out. You don't wait for life to change. You change your state and life responds. At some point, every life collides with pain, loss, rejection, failure, betrayal, disappointment. It shows up uninvited and often at the worst possible time. And when it does, the pain itself is not what breaks people. What breaks people is believing that the pain is pointless. Because when pain has no meaning, it turns into suffering. But the moment you give pain a purpose, it begins to lose its power over you. Most people ask the wrong question when things go wrong. They ask, why is this happening to me? And they stay there, replaying the moment again and again, digging the wound deeper. But that question leads nowhere. It drains energy and gives nothing back. The stronger question is, what is this trying to teach me? Or how can this shape me into someone better, stronger, wiser? The pain doesn't disappear, but it transforms. And transformation is where positivity is born. Think about every breakthrough you've ever had in your life. It didn't come from comfort. It came from pressure. Growth has always required discomfort. Muscles grow by tearing. Character grows the same way. When you understand this, you stop seeing pain as an enemy and start seeing it as a training partner. It pushes you, challenges you, and forces you to access parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. This doesn't mean you deny the hurt. You feel it fully. You honor it, but you refuse to let it define you. Instead of saying, this is breaking me, you say, this is shaping me. Instead of asking, why now? You ask, who must I become because of this? That shift in meaning changes everything. Your mind stops resisting reality and starts working with it. People who stay positive through the hardest seasons of life are not lucky. They are intentional. They consciously decide that no experience will be wasted. Even the darkest moments become raw material for growth. They learn empathy from pain, strength from struggle, wisdom from mistakes. And one day, they realize that the very thing they once wished never happened became the foundation of who they are. When pain has meaning, it gives you direction. It tells you what matters. It clarifies your values. It strips away what's superficial and reveals what's real. And in that clarity, something powerful happens. You regain control. Because even when you can't control the event, you can always control the meaning you assign to it. This is where true resilience is built, not by avoiding hardship, but by using it. When you choose meaning over misery, your energy shifts. Hope returns. You begin to see that this moment is not the end of your story. It's a chapter that's preparing you for what's next. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the pain you thought would destroy, you actually became the reason you grew stronger than you ever imagined. When life feels overwhelming, most people make the same mistake. They try to fix everything at once. They look at the whole mountain and feel crushed by its size. And in that moment, positivity disappears, not because they're weak, but because the brain was never designed to handle endless uncertainty all at once. The way forward is not massive change. The way forward is movement, small, consistent movement. Momentum is the true source of positivity, not motivation, not inspiration. Momentum. When you take action, any action, you send a signal to your mind that you are not stuck. And that signal changes how you feel. Confidence doesn't come before action. It comes because of action. Even the smallest win creates a ripple effect inside you. Think about this. On the days you feel most positive, you're usually doing something. You're making progress. You're moving forward, even if it's imperfect. On the days you feel drained and hopeless, you're often frozen, waiting, replaying problems in your head. That's not a coincidence. Stagnation feeds negativity. Progress feeds strength. When life gets tough, stop asking yourself to be strong for the rest of your life. Just be strong for the next hour, the next decision, the next step. Break your day down into controllable moments. One phone call, one page written, one healthy meal, one walk, one disciplined choice. These are not small things when you're under pressure. They are lifelines. Every small win restores certainty, and certainty is what the human mind craves most during chaos. You may not know how everything will work out, but when you prove to yourself that you can take action today, hope begins to return. You start trusting yourself again. And self-trust is the foundation of positivity. Structure is your ally in hard times. When emotions are unstable, routines create stability. You don't need a perfect schedule. You need a few non-negotiables. Simple actions you commit to no matter how you feel. When you keep promises to yourself, even tiny ones, your identity begins to shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is overwhelmed and start seeing yourself as someone who moves forward no matter what. Celebrate progress, not perfection. Perfection paralyzes. Progress empowers. When you acknowledge even small achievements, your brain releases energy and motivation. You begin to associate action with reward instead of stress. And slowly positivity becomes natural instead of forced. This is how people rebuild their lives after setbacks, not through one dramatic moment, but through daily decisions that stack over time. Day by day, win by win, step by step. And eventually, you look back and realize that what once felt impossible became manageable, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. So when everything feels heavy, remember this, move forward, even slowly, and let momentum carry you where motivation cannot.